Pour lancer officiellement Data On Board 2019, merci d'accueillir chaleureusement l'hôte de cet événement, Jean-Marc Lazare, cofondateur et CEO d'Open Datasoft.
Bonjour à tous. Alors, quelques mots d'introduction avant de laisser effectivement l'estrade à nos speakers. C'est la 5e édition de notre conférence annuelle. Alors, vous êtes chaque année un peu plus nombreux et donc un peu plus divers aussi. Donc, vous ne vous connaissez pas encore tous les uns les autres, mais sachez d'ores et déjà qu'à peu près à part égale dans cette salle et dans les personnes qui vont nous rejoindre tout au long de la journée, vous êtes autant d'acteurs qui œuvraient dans des organisations privées que publiques. Vous êtes autant d'acteurs qui travaillaient dans des startups, vous êtes entrepreneurs, vous travaillez dans des grandes entreprises, des grandes administrations, des collectivités territoriales. Vous êtes aussi un panel d'acteurs représentants de secteurs très variés, d'acteurs publics évidemment des villes, mais qui représentent aussi beaucoup de sujets, la mobilité, l'action sociale, etc. Beaucoup d'entreprises de l'énergie, des utilities, beaucoup d'administrations et d'acteurs de secteurs, peut-être que vous ne soupçonnez pas encore, mais vous l'avez sans doute deviné dans le programme, du luxe, de la grande consommation et de l'industrie. Et puis, dernier point, et pas des moindres, et c'est ce qu'on recherche à faire dans ce type de conférence, c'est faire rencontrer des expériences, des éclairages, des problématiques qui ne sont pas essentiellement techniques, mais comment on aborde la résolution de problèmes. Donc des personnes des 4 coins du monde, donc ça me permet de remercier aussi évidemment tous ceux qui ont fait des déplacements parfois lointains, et en particulier ceux qui, pour venir partager leurs expériences ce matin, sont venus aussi bien du Mexique, des États-Unis ou du Grand Nord, je dirais quasiment, donc du nord de la Suède notamment, et encore d'ailleurs. Donc merci à eux d'avoir joué le jeu et d'être venus jusqu'ici pour partager avec nous leurs expériences. Alors malgré cette diversité, il y a beaucoup de points communs. Alors je suppose, en tout cas, si je ne me trompe pas trop, il y en a déjà un, alors, sauf aujourd'hui évidemment, mais vous ne vous réveillez pas le matin en vous disant « Ah là là, mais mon sujet aujourd'hui c'est la data, la data, la data ». Non, en fait, probablement, de par vos métiers et vos objectifs pour vos clients, pour vos managers, pour vos organisations, vous cherchez à améliorer la qualité de service, vous cherchez à mieux communiquer, vous cherchez évidemment à être plus efficace dans vos projets, à rendre vos organisations plus efficaces au service de leurs clients et des utilisateurs. C'est probablement ça, je dirais, qui, quand vous arrivez au boulot, vous fait vibrer et vous préoccupe. Mais vous avez probablement aussi un autre point commun, c'est que vous êtes persuadé que la donnée, ou en tout cas une bonne exploitation des données qui sont souvent sous-exploitées, c'est une opportunité incroyable pour répondre à ce premier enjeu, pour enrichir évidemment les solutions que vous développez, pour améliorer la façon dont vous communiquez avec plus d'impact et naturellement pour être aussi plus efficace et casser les fameux silos dans les organisations, les silos qui barrent la circulation de la connaissance. Et la donnée étant finalement l'atome de cette connaissance, mieux la partager, c'est un enjeu. Et donc si vous cochez les 2 premiers points communs, normalement, vous êtes à peu près convaincu que la donnée, en tout cas son utilisation, ça n'a de la valeur que si on est capable de la connaître, donc la mettre en lumière, la faire connaître au plus grand nombre, si on est capable de la partager, de la faire circuler rapidement et donc ensuite évidemment de la transformer en usage. Donc c'est ça Data On Board. Pourquoi ? Parce que ce dernier point, rendre possible, mettre en lumière les données et les transformer en usage, c'est la mission d'Open Datasoft. C'est vraiment ce qu'on s'évertue à faire, rendre ça le plus simple possible. Et donc cet événement, il est là pour apporter des éclairages, pour faire, comme on dit chez nous, beaucoup de data, peu de blabla. Donc aujourd'hui, beaucoup de cas vous nous êtes présentés, des cas concrets. Et c'est pour ça que moi, j'ai arrêté là pour cette introduction. On se retrouvera un petit peu plus tard. Et donc, je vais lancer officiellement Data On Board. Donc, passez une excellente journée. Toutes les équipes d'Open Datasoft que j'ai le privilège de représenter sont les grands organisateurs et sont là toute la journée pour vous accompagner. Donc, et Arnaud, évidemment, pour ponctuer cette journée. Donc, bon Data On Board et puis que l'on démarre.
Merci beaucoup, Jean-Marc Lazare, CEO et cofondateur d'Open Datasoft. C'est donc parti pour Data On Board 2019 et pour ouvrir les festivités, nous sommes vraiment ravis et honorés d'avoir à nos côtés quelqu'un qui a fait le voyage de Boston aux États-Unis. Sa keynote sera d'ailleurs en anglais. Pensez à vos casques si vous souhaitez bénéficier d'une traduction simultanée en français. C'est un chevronné du partage de données que nous recevons au sein d'un groupe, rendez-vous compte, né pendant la première révolution industrielle. En effet, près de 2 siècles d'existence après, Schneider Electric a pris très tôt le le tournant du numérique, du tableau électrique que vous connaissez tous, sans aucun doute, aux applications logicielles d'alimentation critique et de réseaux électriques intelligents. Le groupe est désormais au cœur des infrastructures et du quotidien, en faisant circuler l'énergie, mais aussi des datas. Ainsi, le groupe Schneider Electric s'est profondément transformé en quelques années et fait figure de modèle aujourd'hui. Merci d'accueillir Cyril Perducat, Executive Vice President IoT and Digital Offers de Schneider Electric.
Bonjour à tous. So I'm going to switch to English for the pleasure. You will have to enjoy my slight Boston accent. So for the presentation today, what I wanted to do is, based on discussion I had with Jean-Marc and the team, to illustrate what has been our journey with Schneider Electric. How did we came to what we do today in terms of data? Some challenge we are facing on the way, not all of them being solved, and hope that this experience will be useful for your own journey. So my responsibility in Schneider Electric is to be in charge of IoT as a technology and digital offer as a business topic. So I work across all the Schneider Electric organization, and I support all the business of Schneider Electric to reinvent their business with digital. So digital being IoT, being data, being AI, being whatever buzzword we can have around digital, but it's fundamentally, if we were to rebuild our business today, knowing what we know about digital, how would our business look like? So if you take, there was a mention of electrical switchboard. If you take an electrical switchboard, how does that electrical switchboard becomes connected? How do we collect data from the electrical infrastructure? And for example, how are we able to diagnose problems on the infrastructure that could lead to an electrical failure that, think about an hospital, could have a lot of impact on people. So the first one is always the most difficult. So when we look at what Schneider Electric does in a more general term, we provide energy and automation digital solution for efficiency and sustainability. And when you think about efficiency and sustainability, in order to drive better efficiency for industrial processes, buildings, and at the same time efficiency, you need a lot of data. And the opportunity for Schneider Electric over the last 10 years has been to reinvent our business around this notion of efficiency and sustainability together, because our technology historically, our product, or hardware, or ability to connect information and data was there, but the ability to process this data into value for our customers had to be built. And this is what we have built over the last 10 years. So really going from a portfolio of products that were mostly interconnected inside factories, inside buildings, to things that becomes connected to the cloud or becomes connected to other type of infrastructure, collecting data, and being able to drive a certain number of scenarios. So for example, you take a commercial building or a facility like this one, how can we reduce the environmental footprint of that facility while at the same time not affecting negatively the comfort of people? So we could reduce the energy consumption today by reducing the heating temperature today by a couple of degrees, but that might not be very good for your comfort. So if we are able to understand in which rooms there is which occupancy or in which weather prediction will impact the dynamic of the building for the coming 3 days, then we can adjust the overall control of the building and reach this optimum between the best efficiency and the best sustainability. So that's really the sweet spot of the business of Schneider Electric today. You probably, some of you know Schneider Electric because of switchgear, or you open a panel for those of you that have an engineering background in your home and you found some product under the Schneider brand. But the evolution of Schneider Electric business beyond those historical hardware in electrical distribution and in automation is really to leverage this to collect data, transform data into insight, and create value with this insight for our customers and for our partners. When you look at where we operate for this, and this add one more dimension in what we do around IoT and data, we really operate globally. So we have a very well distributed portfolio across geographies. Even if historically we are a French CAC 40 listed company, our number one country is the US and our number two country is China. And we are very well balanced across all the different geographies. And that's important when you look at digital and when you look at data, because there is a lot of very very different context in terms of profile of the people that are going to consume data. A young engineer just graduating from a good university in China has a very different profile than a very experienced facility manager in the US. So being able to tackle this diversity of population as well across the globe, plus difference of regulation, difference of maturity of the different countries is also something that comes from our portfolio, that is an advantage, but that is also a challenge in our ability to look at the topic of data and digital in general. So Schneider Electric, 26 billion euro. In terms of digital, what we have built over the past years is a portfolio of 2 million connected assets that we consider are under management. So it's important, when we say they are under management, we are connected to our customer assets. Of course, it's a very open, transparent model, and we are not confiscating any data from our customers. We collect data that we return in the form of insight to our customers. But we have 2 million assets that are connected. They range from electrical switchboard, buildings, airports, hospitals, hotels, commercial buildings, so a lot of different applications that represent the different segments of Schneider Electric. So commercial, industrial, and residential building being the biggest segment of Schneider Electric, 40%, and being also a big contributor to the energy consumption in the world together with transportation. We have a significant business in data center, so we help data center operators build their data center. We do in a data center pretty much everything except concrete and the IT stuff inside the data center, but the infrastructure of the data center itself, the supervision software, the facility management software, the different softwares that are used during the build phase of a data center to do thermal simulation. So those are products provided by Schneider Electric. And data center is typically a segment where this balance between efficiency and sustainability is extremely important. All the data center operators we work with today want to be at zero energy footprint over the next years, and are looking for solutions like microgrid, like solar on the roof of data center, or many different complex combined type of solution, recycling the heat from servers or other things. So they need digital solutions to articulate all those different infrastructure together in order to reach their sustainability goals. 29% of the portfolio of Schneider Electric is in industry, so that's the classical IIoT, very visible part of the IoT business. So we work in manufacturing industries, process industries like oil and gas, where having data is important beyond just predictive maintenance. Predictive maintenance is always a very basic use case we see, but beyond that, how do we empower and augment operators? How do we address also in industrial processes this combination between efficiency and sustainability is very important. If I am a mining operator, I need to control my energy consumption for cost reason. I need to control my CO2 emissions very often because of regulations. Otherwise, I have to pay fines if I go beyond a certain level of emission. To reach that balance, you need data, and that's what we provide to our customers. So when you look at the context we are facing in our business, we can say a lot of things that just accelerate a global phenomenon that we have. So you have all heard about 5G. So now we are saying that 35% of the applications of the 5G technology is going to be in the manufacturing and utility sector. So this directly impacts Schneider Electric and our portfolio because those are two very big segments where we are present. This is only going to increase the amount of data that is going to be produced and that is going to be captured. We see, and at this point, 33 zettabyte of data or whatever we could use is just a gigantic number at the end that is impossible to process in a traditional way, and the expense that is done on AI is also increasing dramatically. The fundamental issue is that we have a lot of data everywhere, but if we don't do anything about it, if we just focus on the technology like we have done in the past at the beginning of our IoT and digital adventure, we are just going to produce more insignificant data that nobody will be able to use to create real value. Because the real most important number, if it comes, is that 80% of the data, and I think this is another statement, but that comes from a study, I think from IDC, from IDC, 80% of the data is unstructured. When I discuss with my team about the different projects we have across the organization in all our different segments, the blocking point is always the quality of the data. Do we have the right quality of the data? Do we have the right mechanism to expose, manipulate data? Do we have mechanism to create what we call a data refinery so that we can transform raw data into usable data? We need more and more to put in place those different mechanisms so that we can really not only have a tsunami of data that is absolutely overwhelming, but something that is usable to really create value for our customers and for our partners. And when I mention our customers and our partners, I mean that Schneider Electric is facing this problem of data, but we are a large company, we have a lot of software and IT competencies, but 98% or 99% of the partners of Schneider Electric or of the customers of Schneider Electric are medium and small-sized companies that do not have the technical capabilities that most of the large companies have. So they need to have simple tools to use in order to address their business challenge. And today, I think in the past 10 years, the technology around IoT and digital has evolved, but more and more, what we see is that what makes the difference is not the technology itself, but the usability of the technology. And I will come back on this in what we have built and our relationship with Open Data Soft, but I think it's an important element. Building a solution that has maximum usability for the targeted users is as important or more important than the underlying technologies that we could use in a very sophisticated way to connect plenty of things. So fundamentally, the strategy of Schneider Electric has evolved over the years from considering that data is just a byproduct of IoT. When I started in that journey in my current role at Schneider Electric 5 years ago, the obsession of the leadership of Schneider Electric was to connect things. So we need to connect more things, we need to have products that are connected, connectivity was the keyword. And gradually we have seen that this connectivity being of course not a value proposal by itself, we were generating more and more data, we are capturing more and more data, which has either a cost because those data needs to be stored, and even if the costs are going down very quickly, that's still an operating cost that has to be managed, versus in front of this operating cost, a limited value creation at the beginning because usability of data, limited number of use cases, and education to do for the teams inside Schneider Electric to be able to sell products that have a very strong data or insight content. So fundamentally, the strategy of Schneider Electric has evolved from just being a victim of the data that are produced by an IoT infrastructure to really consider data as a product itself. And on this journey, we are at the very beginning. We have really made the first step, but I really believe that the conversation on IoT is shifting for our business from technology and infrastructure to how do we create business and value with data. This is really the shift that we have seen, and this goes beyond usability. It's really know that if we consider that we have done what is right and we have built the right partnership to make data more usable, now we need to create tangible business value through those data. And an important point that I will come after on this is that for Schneider Electric, we can work on being very agile, we can work on real-time insight, we can work on getting better data, but there is no way that we can address all the use cases of all our customers in all our geographies alone. So it came very quickly in our strategy that we needed not only just to build an IoT platform, not only just to build a set of productized solutions for our customers, but we needed to build an ecosystem. And the trigger of building those ecosystems was really centered around data. That was really the starting point. How do we create a community of people that around those data can create new applications or extend our application or solve real customer problems and extend and augment the values that we can create with our technology. So for that reason, we created what we call Schneider Electric Exchange. And Schneider Electric Exchange, the intention is to create a cross-industry open business platform. We launched Schneider Electric Exchange in 2018, and we had in beta, and then we had the official launch in 2019. And it's really the idea. We have right now 50,000 users on Exchange, and it's growing at a steady speed. But the idea is really to create an open ecosystem of people that together in a collaborative way are able to solve the real-world efficiency and sustainability challenge. If I go back to some of the examples I was mentioning before, if I am the factory manager of a mid-size manufacturing company, and I am operating my infrastructure, I have a lot of data. The problem for most of the people in that context is lack of competencies to really tackle the data. We don't have data scientists in every factories, obviously. Lack of mastering of the technology to do this. So there is an opportunity, there is a potential. Those people might be using Schneider Electric technology in terms of SCADA, MES, supervision, whatever you can find inside the factory. But if we don't provide on top of this the ecosystem with people having different profile than the profile we have traditionally worked with at Schneider Electric, then we won't be able to tackle the solution. So we created Schneider Electric Exchange to bring in the same community our traditional partners, system integrators, panel builders, large end users, so many companies that are today in the physical ecosystem of Schneider Electric, and we have created new capacities and new tools to bring new type of partners in this ecosystem, so technology companies, software developers, whatever they are members of large companies or they are independent freelance software developer, and data scientists. And now if I am a facility manager, I can go to a factory manager, I can go to Schneider Electric Exchange, describe what is my problem, find the most relevant partner, organize a conversation with those partners in a secured, collaborative way, define a project, work on the engagement with them, and go to the end of my project leveraging common capabilities that we have built on Exchange. So, and the element of data is extremely important because what people share in this community is mostly information and data. So we created inside Exchange a specific data part in what is in the first part, which is technical resource and toolbox. When we looked at what tools we could expose inside Exchange for data scientists, we took the capabilities that we have developed for our internal needs, and this capability we had built for our internal needs for our own data scientists, we had built it with Open Datasoft. So we took the solution we had built with Open Datasoft for internal needs, and we exposed outside the solution in Exchange in order to develop the same set of tools for the community of data scientists that we want to build around Schneider Electric Exchange. And so far, it has been a very exciting journey. And when you look at our different steps, we started in Exchange by Schneider Electric providing data sets. So we took the data from our own buildings or for our own facilities in order to provide data sets to developers so that they could improve their own tools. So, for example, we have a technology company that is an ISV that is developing building software for the design of buildings. And in order to have better simulation tools, they needed to have fresh data or they needed to have data in context. So by leveraging our data sets, we help them to develop better software. Ultimately, if they develop better software, they serve better the ecosystem. At the end, everybody, including Schneider Electric, wins in this relationship. So if I take, so that was really the initial use case. We take data scientists inside Schneider Electric, we expose tools, data scientists outside of Schneider Electric. Now we are moving to scenarios that are much more business-oriented scenarios, that are beyond just enabling an ecosystem. They are really about transforming data into a business. And when I was saying we are at the beginning of the journey, that's really the very beginning. But two examples here that are quite interesting. The first one, so we have, as a customer, a global fast food chain that I cannot name, but that you probably all know. and many different restaurants in the world, and all those different restaurants have pretty similar IT infrastructure. It's very standardized across. They all produce data, but if they want in a given facility either to benchmark one facility with another one, or if they want to improve sustainability because it is part of their brand value proposal to be also carbon neutral, reduce energy consumption and everything, like a lot of players are committing to do on the market. They need data to do this, but they need local partners. So what we were able to build with them around Schneider Electric Exchange is the ability to have each of the different, and it's under development, so it's not completely finalized yet, but the intention of the scenario is to give them the possibility at the level of each site globally to produce a data set that represents the operation of the facility, expose this in exchange through API, and have local partners being able to solve the actual efficiency and sustainability problem of those customers by leveraging the data set while protecting what is behind the data, the source of the data and the architecture, because this is exposed through an API. And ultimately, we see an expansion of those scenarios. I was mentioning the example before of the factory manager. That could be a similar scenario. I have a SCADA system. I have a lot of data on-premise for my facility, but I don't know what to do with those data. I have a problem of competencies in my site. It's difficult to attract this type of talent in my industry. What I can create a data set, expose this data set easily in Exchange, ask a question, request service and support, and being able to have the ecosystem provide this value locally, because we create with Exchange a very granular global community of players in all the geographies where we operate. Second example in the same, in a similar fashion. So LEED certified buildings now have a dynamic label, and in order to create a dynamic label that shows permanently what is the status of a given building versus the energy and sustainability goals, we are able to use a similar technology. We take the data from a certain site, we create a data set, we expose with an API, and on top of this API, we develop a simple software that is a LEED badge. And now we are able to offer to all our system integrators, when they are using Schneider technologies in a building or in a facility, it's very easy to create this dynamic badging for LEED certification for the different buildings. So that's another scenario that we are developing. We see that there will be more and more of those scenarios, because really fundamentally data is the problem and the opportunity. That's really the tipping point of the creation of value with IoT right now. We can continue to improve the technology in order to capture more data, but if we are not able to transform the data into value, then this is going to be an industrial disaster globally. So we see progress, but we still see a lot of challenges in order to have the right level of quality of data and to have the best usability scenario for the data with the ecosystem. That's really where we focus on in our collaboration with Open Datasoft that has now some years of experience in the relationship. So that's the journey we have been through. That's where bring us here today as well to share this experience. I will be happy to discuss with you as well in the open area if you want to know more details on what we have done or what we intend to do. It has been really a great journey with the Open Datasoft team. I think we share a business opportunity, but we also share some values. I think the willingness to do something that has an impact on the world, the notion of communities, the notion of openness, and the notion of sharing is something that is very important for Schneider Electric. That's something that we put up front in our company values and in our positioning in the market. So we have been really able with Open Datasoft to go from something that was built for internal needs to something that is now a business asset that we expose in one of our most strategic projects today, which is Schneider Electric Exchange. And I invite you to join Schneider Electric Exchange, because considering where you come from and the business you are in, I think most of you will have an interest to see what kind of capabilities you could leverage or what you could learn in Schneider Electric Exchange. So exchange.sc.com, registration takes a couple of minutes, and this will be interesting also for us to get your feedback in the context of your different applications. Thank you very much.